Hi everybody! I did my first pixel art speed paint, and I'll be talking a little bit about that, as well as a few other things. The first thing I would like to talk about is how I set up the canvas for pixel art. So pixel art is different because you need a very small canvas, at least I did. I needed to shrink my canvas size. Normally I have it at about between 6 to 10 inches, just depends on what I'm drawing. And you also need to lower your dots per inch, or your DPI. And the lowest I could go was 72, so that's where I put mine, and that seems to be about the average from what I've seen. And then you can get started. I also set the shape of my brush to a square because squares are pixely shaped, and after that you can get started. You can draw your pixel picture, and the one thing you absolutely have to remember is at the end, because you're working on such a small canvas, you have to export it by doubling the size. You should increase it in 100 percentages, so I increased this by 200%. You could increase it more if you wanted, but the reason for that is if you increase it by anything in between the 100 percentages, it might come out blurry. If you haven't tried it yet, you really should, because pixel art is amazing. If you've ever had that feeling where you have this image in your head and you absolutely cannot get it on paper for some reason, whether it be because you don't have the talent, or you don't think you do, or you're lacking resources, or whatever the reason, pixel art is great because you can just put a few pixels down and your mind will fill in the rest. If you're even just beginning and learning how to do art digitally, you should give pixel art a try. And if, say, environments aren't your thing, which they are definitely not mine, it's actually really easy to throw some colors down and the human mind will just kind of fill in the rest for you. It's amazing what the imagination can take out of a few square dots. Or say that environments are your thing, but you're struggling with technicalities like how a hand should look, which hands are hard, man, or how even an eye should be. Pixel art is fantastic for something like that, because again, just throw down a few dots and the human mind will fill in the rest for you. So okay, I'll stop gushing over why it's fantastic, and I'll talk a little bit about this piece. When I started it, I had no plan for where I was going with this. I had seen speed paint, and I'd also been watching a couple of video games that were done with pixel art recently, and I wanted to try my hand at it, and I'm really glad I did. I just wanted to try the gradient in the clouds first to see what it looked like, and then my brain thought, hey, there should be a mountain in the front, because that's something cool to look at, and then it just kind of went on from there. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. I hadn't planned to have a mountain, I hadn't planned to have a chunk of the mountain missing, but it was really fun, and I'm definitely going to do more of it. Something that I need to work on a little bit more in the future for pixel art, and just my art in general, is keeping in mind the rule of thirds. And for those of you who don't know, the rule of thirds is when you have a grid over top of your picture. I believe it's about 9 squares in total, and wherever the lines making the squares meet, that's where the human eye is drawn naturally first. And I didn't really keep that in mind in this because I didn't have a plan for this drawing. The only place that I really nailed it was the very top right of the mountain is kind of right about where it would be. It's a little high, but I think I moved it over at some point. And something else I would like to include with pixel art in the future would be a person. I didn't try any people in this yet, just didn't think of it, so I might be doing another speed paint of that in the future. Let me know if you would be interested in seeing that at all. And thank you for watching. I hope you had as good a time watching this as I did making it. And leave me suggestions in the comments, improvements, tips, requests. and I will see you all next time. Thanks.